easy.
Get off the ledge! Get off the ledge! Can you take me higher? This country sure as hell been going down the drain.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Why should you want to know? Don't you mind about the future?
And now, live, unedited, unrehearsed, and unapologetic, brought to you by Imperial Fire Alarm and Security, securing your world. Straight off the ledge, it's JD and Smitty!
Hey, welcome to the show. It's on 96 K-Rock with JD and Smitty on the ledge. And if we have some callers that want to call in during this program, 277-9600 or 775-9600. There's so much to talk about. So much news on the line this week. It was the Trayvon Martin thing. You had the beauty contest I got here, and there's a lot of stuff going on. JD, say hi to the folks.
Hey, everybody. This is JD. You're on live with JD and Smitty. And I want to go ahead and start right in. I've got something on politics, a little issue with the State Department. You know, State Department's kind of been in a little war against the Jewish community, it looks like. We've got straight from the Weekly Standard, had a press conference just yesterday with the State Department spokeswoman Victoria Nuland. And in the press conference, the news press were asking, is it the view of the United States that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel? Notwithstanding the question about the embassy, as far as the location of the embassy. And Ms. Newland says, we are not going to prejudge the outcome of those negotiations, including the final status of Jerusalem. Come back and says, well, does that mean that you do not regard Jerusalem as the capital of Israel? Ms. Newland says, Jerusalem is a permanent status issue. It's not going to be resolved on this venue. It's going to be resolved through negotiations. Well, then the question comes back. That seems to suggest that you do not regard Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Is that correct or not? And she says, I've just spoken to this issue, and I have nothing further to say. And the questioner comes back and says, you've spoken to the issue? She says, yeah, but you haven't answered the question. And I think there's a lot of people out there who are interested in hearing a real answer and not trying to duck and say that this has got to be resolved by negotiation between two sides. And she breaks in and says, well, this is our, stance. And the reporter says, what is the capital of Israel? She comes back, our policy with regard to Jerusalem is that it has to be resolved through negotiations. That's all I have to say on this issue. My contention is that this administration will not recognize Jerusalem as a capital because they feel like they're offending the Palestinians. And I'm all for, the Palestinians, their rights and so forth, but we've got to recognize, what is the capital of Israel? And even on the country's website, it's U.S. law that Jerusalem is considered the capital of Israel. So as far as I'm concerned, the boat has sailed. What do you think about that, Smitty? Do you think there's any issues with the administration? I mean, have you seen anything where, that would lead us to believe that they are not willing to, to state this? I mean, on the record, why would they not want to state this?
Well, it's obvious the politics is too deep for us to even fathom with what's going on over there, man. You just can't put your foot in one bucket and go, hey, this is the story. Maybe she didn't do good in history. I don't know. Maybe she failed in history. I don't know what her problem is.
I don't think that's it. I mean, our administration, the current administration, will not admit on TV or when it's recorded that Jerusalem's the capital of Israel. I mean, it seems like it's not part of their agenda, and it angers the hard left, along with the Arabs in the area, if they were to state that. And I can't figure out, who do they think our enemies are? Do they think our enemies is Israel?
I think they're all our enemies over there. I mean, we have gotten so much in debt, and it's just impossible to figure out who's your friend or who's your enemy over there.
Well, no. We know Israel is our friend. Israel has always been the friend to the U.S.
Well, up front they have, but behind closed doors they haven't been exactly the best in the world. So
I don't see that. I mean, if as the saying goes, as Israel goes, so does the U.S. I mean, so if anybody got any comments on this, call in, please. You're on the ledge with 96K Rock. Phone numbers are 277 or 775-9600. We can talk about this or plenty of other things. We've got
we got a caller online.
Already caller on the line? All right, let's go. You're on live on the ledge. Who do we got? Anybody there?
Yes, this is Smitty's show.
Yeah, this is it. What's going on, my friend?
Oh, I'm listening to your show, and I really enjoy hearing about Israel and what the capital of Israel is. But why don't we talk about how I get a job here in Fort Myers?
Good point.
Yeah, that's a real good point. Everybody knows everybody's struggling now. Everybody's having a tough time. And the job situation, just the other day, it was posted the stock market was doing better than it's done since 1998 for the first quarter. It's up as high as it's ever been. So I think we're heading in the right direction.
I don't think the stock market is a good indication as to what the job status is in this country, though, because we've seen a steady increase in the stock market over the last 10 years. I mean, what's it, around 19 billion now? And we still got 400 million people out of work. It seems like.
What's unemployment right now?
I don't know. The real unemployment is probably sitting about 21%.
No, they say it's about 10% right now.
That's crap. That's because they don't they don't take into consideration people that have stopped looking for work. The numbers that you see, the 10% or the 8.4 or whatever they've got listed as, that's based on people physically walking into the unemployment office and applying for unemployment.
Well, if you want,
what about the people who have already ran their 99 weeks? Well,
if you want to track that unemployment, high unemployment, you can go way, way, way back. I mean, you can go back when your boy Bush was in office. I mean, we can take it back further than that.
I hear you. I realize that.
That's when it really started. I mean, I know you're not.
All right, stop with your rhetoric. We got another caller on the line.
Hey.
Welcome to the ledge.
Does anybody care?
Does anybody care about the unemployment? You would if you were unemployed.
Well, I've been unemployed. I've had to travel.
Well, at least you're. I congratulate you. You're actually getting out there and doing something. You're getting on the horse. You're getting out there. You're taking care of yourself.
What's our government? Why do we care about Israel? Why do we care about Iran? Why do we care about Iraq? What about
He sounds like Ron Paul. He sounds like Ron Paul. Just pull all your troops out everywhere. Don't care about anybody. Don't care about any countries or anything. Because if we don't care about them, if we don't care about those people, I feel your pain, brother. If we don't care about those,
you don't feel my pain. You're employed.
Well, it wasn't easy, and I'm barely employed. So anyhow,
well, then you need to
my boss is over here is ready to fire me. So no, we're good. But you got to remember now,
$13 an hour. Tell me how you raise a family in Fort Myers at $13 an hour.
I guess you get a second job.
Yeah, man.
Or get an education.
That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. You can't sit back and just think it's going to come to you.
Well, unemployment's always an issue. It's always contentious. Nobody ever agrees, and some people blame this guy, blame that guy, but ultimately the responsibility lies with you bettering yourself. You have to get out there. You got to get an education. You got to scratch. You got to bite. You got.
Well, you're a real inspiration.
Well,
why don't you tell that to the biscuits and the gravy that we're having tonight?
Well, you're going to have to do the. Well, if you have a better solution and you're out there actually pounding the pavement.
That's why I'm calling.
Smitty and I, we have what we think is a better solution, and we're going to bring it up right now.
Oh.
So, Smitty, remember we were talking the other day.
Thanks for calling, caller. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, bud. We were talking the other day, and we were in the car. We were heading down 75. That was the day I almost jumped out of the car because I was so mad at you for all the crap you were talking about.
Yep.
So, anyway, he had some.
Was that the day you almost broke the windshield with your fist punching it?
I did not punch the windshield. I was trying to punch you.
Anger issues, man. You got anger issues. You got anger.
Anyway. So we're riding along, and Smitty, he comes up with this idea about, if in order to get all these people that are unemployed, employed, he's looking off to the side of the road and he sees the grass, and I go, there's a place, people can cut, they can cut the grass, and I said, okay, well, that's great.
That's why I stopped and let you get out and cut the grass, right?
Exactly. No. So he says, why don't we make it to where if there's a government contract that in order to get the contract, you have to hire like 5 new unemployed people. And I'm like, yeah, that's great, buddy. But what if I've got a company, I've already got 5 people employed, and in order for me to keep them employed, They need to get that job cutting that grass. And he was like, well, there's got to be something. So he actually came up with something that wasn't bad. And basically it goes like this.
Mark that down on your calendar.
Yeah, mark it down.
Because I never do anything that you like.
I know. Well, unemployment checks are very low. I mean, I think the max you get is about $275 a week. And you can't live on that. I mean, maybe if you got a dual income family and you're the second guy, you could it helps.
And you get penalized when you get a job.
Exactly. That's one of the issues. And so let's say you're making that $275 a week. You can't get out of the hole, and when you go to get a job, they take away your unemployment. So, if you're able to keep some of that unemployment for just a limited time, while you get where you get an actual job.
And wean them off.
Yeah, kind of wean them off.
Right,
and I don't mean for 99 weeks.
Right,
I mean,
understand.
I'm for a short time span because it's
like
my
what, 2 days?
Yeah, well, maybe a day and a half.
That's you.
It's my true belief that people do get hooked on unemployment. It's an entitlement program.
You're going to have portions of people that are you're going to have a percentage that are hooked on it.
I realize.
But the general thing is most people don't want to be on it. They want to get off of it.
Well,
but you get penalized every time you get off. You get a job, you get unemployment. Next thing you know, you get a job, they take it away, so you're back to zero. It's actually it's the incentive to stay on unemployment.
Did you see? Did I show you the video of Pelosi's daughter when she did that interview up wherever she lives? I think it was in New York or California.
No.
She actually goes like across the street from wherever she was staying to the welfare office, does an interview with a group of folks in the line at the welfare office. Every one of them said that they were just there to get a check. They didn't want to work. I mean, that was the bottom line. They preferred a check to working.
Well, if it's on the internet, I'm sure it's gospel. I mean, come on.
This was Nancy Pelosi's daughter.
Well, we know how much you love Nancy Pelosi. Okay.
Oof,
so,
man.
Please,
Well,
you love her as much as I like Rush Limbaugh. Okay.
I hear you. Well, Nancy, but
I'd pay to see those two argue. Face to face. That would be a great pay-per-view.
That would be like a nice
pay-per-view
catfight.
radio. I like that. We got a concept.
Pay-per-view. Write that down.
Okay,
we can make some money on that. We dang sure don't make any money on this one.
No. And after this, I'll probably get fired.
She asked this one guy, how long's it been since you worked? He said about a half a decade. She says, well, would you like to get a job? And he says, no, I don't really want a job. I'm holding out for a career. And I'm like,
well, he's shooting his sights high. He's aiming high.
He's holding out for that management position.
That's right. He's aiming his sights high.
Well, I know that's not indicative of everybody, but there are groups like that.
We'll be right back in just a couple more moments here. Don't forget we're on 96 K-Rock The Ledge with JD and Smitty. If you're on the line and you want to call in, it's 277-9600. That's 239-277-9600 or 775-9600. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey there, Sarah. You better wipe that smile off your face. People will wonder what you've been doing.
If they only knew my secret.
Well, tell me what your secret is. I love a good secret.
Well, my husband surprised me yesterday by taking me to the Health and Harmony Center. I got a full-body Swedish massage and picked up a few other items just for me.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
It was better than awesome. It was the most relaxing 1 hour that I've experienced in a long, long time and well overdue. At the Health and Harmony Center, they offer massage, yoga, acupuncture, natural medicines, fitness classes, workshops, and more. I can't wait to go back. It was certainly better than a card and flowers.
Call the Health and Harmony Center now for more details and ask about their 1 hour Swedish massage special for only $65 now through April the 14th. Put a smile on someone's face. Call 239-433-5995. That's 239-433-5995. Or stop by at 15951 McGregor Avenue.
When it comes to landscaping, farming, or just cutting the grass, no one knows more than Matt Miller Tractor. They offer a huge selection of tractors and mowers for all your needs. Whether it's large commercial development or a small family project, they are your one-stop shop. Matt Miller Tractor is dedicated to providing their customers with the top-of-the-line products and services, all under one roof. Matt Miller takes great pride in his customer service, bringing top brands to you and offering best-of-industry warranties on all product lines. If you're looking for that one-of-a-kind make or model, they have all the top names: Snapper, Kohler, King Cutter, Briggs & Stratton, and more. Sale, service, repair, and maintenance for 20 years. Once you experience their down-home approach to business, you'll see why Matt Miller Tractor is second to none. They treat each customer like a neighbor, because that's what you are. Call Matt Miller Tractor at 239-693-0305. That's 239-693-0305. Or stop by the store at 7261 West State Road 80.
She thinks my tractor's sexy.
Caroline, we're getting down to the final days, and what's amazing to me is we see so many customers coming back and back and back. Over 1 year we've been here, about 13 months now. It's just incredible the amount of people that keep coming back that are so happy with our service.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our service staff is, not only are they incredibly well-trained, they're factory-trained, but they're some of the friendliest staff that we have. Every time someone talks to me about their service experience, the very first thing they say to me is, your staff is incredible. And it's because they are.
That's important, Caroline. We have so many great customers here that come to Facility Kia. Not only the world record holder, we're the #1 Kia store in the world, but we know how to service people. We make an enjoyable experience. We don't jerk you around, tell you this, tell you that, and all that other nonsense you get at these other places. Caroline, and in appreciation, that home that's going out to some lucky winner, it's going to be really a nice evening on Monday.
Yeah, somebody's going to win a dream home with a Kia in the driveway. No purchase necessary. Just come in and register to win.
That's huge, Southwest Florida, huge.
Hi, I'm Chris Spears with GNC Automotive and Towing, located in Bonita Springs, with some fuel-saving tips for your car. One of the most important things you can do, air filter and fuel filters. If you got a rag over your mouth and can't breathe, well, picture your car with a dirty air filter. It's the same effect. In hard times, a lot of people skip on preventative maintenance. It's real important to stay on top of them. Even though it may cost you a little now, it's better than a lot later. Stop by and see my certified guys at GNC Automotive and Towing on Bonita Beach Road. Maybe we can save you some money and keep your car on the road longer. GNC is just different because we believe in what we do. We'd be upset if somebody was taking advantage of our family. So we're going to take care of your family. We're not going to take advantage of them. GNC Automotive and Towing, 3865 Bonita Beach Road, just west of 41. Or give us a call at 239-947-1555. We answer our phone 24/7. That's 239-947-1555. GNC Automotive and Towing.
Get off the ledge. Get off the ledge. Can you take me higher? This country sure as hell been going down the drain.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Why should you want to know? Don't you mind about the future?
And now, live, unedited, unrehearsed, and unapologetic, brought to you by Imperial Fire Alarm and Security, securing your world. Straight off the ledge, it's JD and Smitty!
Hey, we are back. We are back live. Thank you for tuning in. If you want to call, that's 277-9600, 775-9600. You're on the ledge with JD and Smitty on 96K Rock.
And this is JD, and today we have a special guest. Mr. Trey Radel has stopped in. He is a U.S. congressional candidate running for District 14, which is the Collier and Lee County seat that is being vacated by Congressman Connie Mack. Connie Mack is going to be running for Bill Nelson's Senate seat. So Trey's in the office, in the studio with us right now.
Welcome, Trey.
And
good to be here.
Yeah, good to see you, man.
This is it. This is it. How's it going?
It's going pretty good, man. It's it's the first show, and we're glad to have somebody like you here. And I know you're not new to the radio. I'm sure.
Or TV.
Or TV, that's right. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I want to know how you guys are doing. Well, we'll get to that in a second. Are you enjoying it? You're behind the microphones.
Oh, yeah.
You've got fired-up callers, by the way.
Thank you.
You got some dude calling in. I don't want to know about Israel. What good about these jobs, man? I need a job.
Good point. Good point.
I was gonna get the job.
You see what I got to deal with every day with him. I'm telling you. It's like putting a cart in front of the horse and pushing it down the street.
But look, this is great. I mean, that's the beauty of radio. Is here you are. You're having conversations. You got people listening. You got people fired up, and
that's the goal.
That's what it's about. Whether we're talking talk radio, or politics.
Well, the radio forum that we want to get is that everybody call in. If you want to voice your opinion, it's open. And rarely does that happen.
The
number,
Ledge with
you got to get that number.
That's right. 277-9600. That's 277-9600.
The Ledge, JD and Smitty.
The Ledge with JD and Smitty.
There you go. Ledge with JD and Smitty.
It sounds like a subliminal message.
Now, this is different for you, though, I think, Trey, because K-Rock is not the typical listenership that you've had before. I mean, in your prior endeavor, you were on a little bit different format. Although even before that, when you were it was Wink, right?
Yeah, I worked with. I've been very blessed with the broadcasting career here. I worked with Wink. I came here more than a decade ago. I was the idiot standing in the hurricanes as a reporter with Wink News. I was based in Naples. I left there, actually rolled the dice, and began to build up a small business, sold that, then got back into TV news as an anchor. And worked with some names that many people know. Lois Tomey, who's been a long-time staple. I launched a newscast with her. Stacey Adams did that, but got kind of bored reading about car crashes every night in TV news. So I left again to start up another company, and that's when I was doing the radio show and had my company at the same time. And now I'm running for Congress. Yeah,
I tell you what, man. When I listened to your radio show, I was an avid listener, and I listened to it even with the host that was on before you took over. And but when you got in there, it was like a new fire was lit. I mean, it was like a new spark. And as time went on, maybe what were we on there for? A year and a half, 2 years? How long was it?
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. I would say a year into it, I'm going, man, this is the political season. I sure would like to see somebody like Trey run, because we need more fiscal conservatives running for office. Somebody that's going to, tie the purse strings, get this country back to where it needs to be. And then lo and behold, one day, I hear this news. I'm like, holy cow! Dream come
he wore
true.
me out. He wore me out.
I did, man.
He wore me out. I mean, literally. I was like, oh my Lord, come on, stop.
It was now. It's not. It wasn't quite as big a news as if Obama was to be, to leave the White House, but it was still big news for Florida.
You're saying that Trey running for Congress isn't as big as Obama leaving the White House?
Man, I tell you what, we still. Well, here's the
second, but a real close first.
The bottom line is on that. Even if we do get a Republican as the president, we still have to control the House and the Senate in order to pass anything. Because you can see, what's going on right now. Obviously, there's stalemates up there now.
No one's getting anything done.
No one's getting anything
Speaking of which, who are you supporting for the president? Are you backing anybody?
I think that...
Don't walk the fence on me, man. Come on. Give me a name.
I like every Republican in the country right now. I'm frustrated with all of them.
Who would you vote for right now?
At the end of the day, all of them, whether we're talking Mitt, Rick, or Newt, are all... Or whether we're talking all of Santorum, Gingrich, all of them, they're all big government, big spending.
Okay, who would you vote for though today?
Well, remember,
you don't want to.
There's no reason to.
Sure. But the bottom line is...
Listen, I'm a conservative Republican. I'm the first to say that the Republican Party, along with Democrats, have failed this country. They failed you. They failed your kids if you got them. They failed your grandkids. We're $15 trillion in debt with deficits that neither party... Heading to 16, and we're going to bump that up to 17. Neither party has done anything for you. They have not served you. And this goes back to, it doesn't matter who's in the White House. We need to make sure that right here in Southwest Florida, we get a fiscal conservative into office who understand the monumental tasks that are in front of us right here in Southwest Florida, and we also take back the Senate. That includes unseating Bill Nelson.
Absolutely.
And in the House, look, there are simple, what's that?
Is he a robot?
Is who a robot?
Bill Nelson.
Is Bill Nelson a robot? He might be with a Southern accent. Bill Nelson is one of the most liberal members in Senate. But this guy talks like John Wayne, dresses like a conservative.
Hey, easy on John Wayne. I like John Wayne.
Well,
okay?
I do too. But here's Bill Nelson, who just
he sounds like just a good old boy, doesn't he?
And it's ridiculous. He's one of the most liberal members in Congress today. But look. Whatever happens, whatever shakes out in this presidential field, it is critical that we get people who understand the problems that we face. And look, again, I'm the first to say that there are some in my own party that have failed us. We have had big spending, big government Republicans in office that are in part responsible for this mess that we have. And the solutions are simple. They're not easy, but they're simple. Cut spending and get government out of the way. It's what has made this country the greatest and strongest for 200 years.
So I take it you are a Tea Party guy.
The legend, J.D. and Smitty.
Look, I'm very,
shameless marketing here.
I'm
277-9600 and 775-9600.
You're listening to Ledge.
That's right.
96 K-Rock with J.D. and Smitty with Trey Radel.
Trey Radel in studio right now, but
nice.
But
that's what he knows. He knows how to do this, man.
Give us a call. Give us a shout. We love tough questions. But
when it comes to Tea Party, though, I mean. The Tea Party in itself, I mean, it was not something that was developed from the administration, from any administration. It was a grassroots organization that started up, I think, what's the gentleman's name in Naples?
It was in Naples.
Was it Barry?
Barry Willoughby.
Yeah, Barry Willoughby.
Great man.
You know, him and I think another lady may have kind of got it going after they saw something on the internet, or just got tired of all the spending and the wasteful spending, and it was really more for conservative dollars to save money and stop wasteful spending is where it kind of started. And it looks like we've got a caller on the line right now, and we're going to go to the phones.
Go ahead, caller. You're on 96 K-Rock, The Ledge with JD and Smitty. Go ahead.
Oh, caller's gone.
Caller's gone.
I guess it wasn't important.
Sometimes they will get on and just kind of chicken out. As soon as that line opens up, they're like, no, I don't think I'm going to ask you any questions.
I've noticed, too, with cell phones. The cell phones drop out. But like I was saying, I mean, Tea Party, that was a huge support for the 2010 elections. And I mean, that's how we got all the new Tea Party-based, Tea Party-backed Republicans in during the 2010 election. And I'm a little disappointed right now because I know the Tea Party's not gone. I know they're not gone. We're just kind of sleeping, I think. I think they're just kind of sleeping, and I hope to see them real soon.
Yeah, I like the Tea Party, then I don't like the Tea Party. I like the Tea Party, then I don't like the Tea Party. I can't figure out what I want from them.
What do you not like?
Stay on the couch.
I guess they're so far right. I mean, they're so far.
What is so far right?
Well,
exactly.
I guess their policy, some of their policy.
What policy?
I don't know. I haven't really been.
Well, while you think about the policy, let's take another call real quick, and then we'll get to Trey. Yes, caller, you're on the line, on the ledge with JD and Smitty.
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen. I'm not sure about you, but my opinion is that the career politicians seem to be a big problem in this country. I'd like to know what you guys think about putting term limits on it.
Look, I'll say it's the first piece of legislation, one of the first that I'd like to sign when I get to Congress.
Awesome.
Here's the deal. Senator Jim DeMint in the Senate side has proposed this legislation. There's matching legislation in the House, and it's 3 years for the House and 2 for the Senate. This is one of the ideas.
I like that.
3 terms. Is it terms?
I'm sorry, 3 terms.
Okay.
I apologize. 3 terms House, 2 terms Senate.
Okay.
Now, when we look at the big problems in Washington, it's 6 years House. I think that's because it's just 2.
Listen, compared to what they got now,
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'm with you.
It's just about right when you begin to look at what many of the states across our nation are doing in terms of term limits. So there are 2 big things that we need to tackle in Washington when it comes to the culture of Washington. Areas that we have either developed career politicians or areas where both Republicans and Democrats have abused. Those 2 things are, number 1, term limits, and the second is the tax code. Again, I'm a conservative Republican, a fiscal, constitutional, conservative Republican. But I'm the first to say that both parties have taken the tax code. They've given breaks to these guys over here. Hey, maybe a few subsidies over to these guys over here. No. Now let's rewrite it to give a break to this person here.
Very true.
And it's abuse of the American people year after year. So term limits and tax code are 2 big picture things that we can do to take care of this.
Are you for
country.
the 999 that was?
I prefer a fair tax. It puts skin in the game for everybody.
You wouldn't go for a progressive tax then?
No, which is what we have now. No,
yes,
and
is
again,
what we have now.
It begins to get all screwed up, and it's where both Democrats and Republicans have been able to really just kind of abuse the system. And what is it? I mean, it's tens of thousands of pages. So you
think that somebody that's making $300,000 is going to be? It's fair for them not to pay as much as a guy who's working for $6 or $7 an hour at Walmart.
That doesn't exist.
Yeah, Trey, before you answer, I was going to say this is the argument I have with Smitty all the time. I think it's a math issue. I don't know if the school he went to went up that high in math, but basically, what I'm saying is when I explain to him that 300,000 taxed at 10%. Okay, or 30,000 taxed at 10%.
Did you think about
it's
that?
The same ratio. It's the same ratio. It's based on what are you bringing in, and that I don't know if there's any callers out there that would like to chime in.
We're Trey Radel, everybody. And,
the ledge on 96K Rock.
You can visit TreyRadel.com.
TreyRadel.com. We're also on the ledge with the 96K Rock.
What's the number, Smitty?
It's 277-9600. That's 277-9600, or you can dial 775. 9600, and give us your opinion, what you think, what's going on over here. And
yeah, now I'll tell you what though, when we come back from break, I want to get into something else with gas prices because I just filled up last night,
I
think my bank account's empty.
Yeah, you're gone. Done.
So we'll be back in a few.
Hey there, Sarah. You better wipe that smile off your face. People will wonder what you've been doing.
If they only knew my secret.
Tell me what your secret is. I love a good secret.
Well, my husband surprised me yesterday by taking me to the Health and Harmony Center. I got a full-body Swedish massage and picked up a few other items just for me.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
It was better than awesome. It was the most relaxing 1 hour that I've experienced in a long, long time and well overdue. At the Health and Harmony Center, they offer massage, yoga, acupuncture, natural medicines, fitness classes, workshops, and more. I can't wait to go back. It was certainly better than a card and flowers.
Call the Health and Harmony Center now for more details and ask about their 1 hour Swedish massage special for only $65 now through April the 14th. Put a smile on someone's face. Call 239-433-5995. That's 239-433-5995. Or stop by at 15951 McGregor Avenue.
Are we back?
Are we hot?
All right. We're back.
96K Rock with JD and Smitty on the ledge.
We got Trey Radel in studio.
775-9600. Tell us what's on your mind, and don't jump off the ledge. We're with Trey Radel.
All right, Trey. This is one issue that's a hot topic right now. You know, like I was saying. Well, this one hits so close to home. You know, and I feel like this was one of the issues. Yeah, the price of hamburger. No, it could be, but you know, it seemed to me that when the housing bubble burst, okay, and the economy took a dump, that at the same time gas prices were also going high. And this was back when Bush was in office. I remember when gas went up to $4 or $5 a gallon when he was there, and everything kind of hit at once. Well, you know, people think, well, what's gas prices do? Okay, it costs a little bit more at the pump. They think that's as far as it goes. That increases the price of food, transportation, production, you know, to get material from one place to another across the country. These things aren't just magically appear. You know, you got to truck them or train them or whatever it is they do to get them someplace. Bring them on a big boat. I mean, that takes a lot of oil. So
I got an idea. Next time we go to war, let's actually get some oil. Okay?
Well, I did like
anything.
You know, that was the one thing. That was the one thing I liked what Trump said. He says, you know what? Next time, you know, if another country wants us to go over there and protect them or to help them. Yeah, you're going to charge them a huge lease fee or something.
Send them a bill.
Here's a charge for this battleship group, you know. But anyway, back to gas prices. What can you see as a way to bring these prices down legitimately? I mean, we know obviously drill for more oil is what's been said, and
that's what's been said. I mean,
but it's not been done.
It goes back to the simple concept of supply and demand. If we have more supply, then
we're using less now.
That's because people don't have a job. They can't drive anywhere.
See, it's working for you already.
Okay.
Well, look, that's part of using less now because people simply can't, and it's so ridiculously expensive. But that is the MO of the Democrat Party, is to do everything they can, whether it's levying taxes or subsidizing ridiculous companies like Solyndra to try and promote their agenda.
You mean that didn't work out well? Solyndra wasn't good?
Well, you know, subsidies, talking about subsidies, you know, Exxon made $41 billion last year, and the oil companies, all of them, they get subsidies up to $5 billion.
Here we go.
They get subsidies. Do they need the $5 billion?
They're making $41 billion. It goes back to exactly what I just said about both parties abusing the tax code in one way or another, or doling out subsidies here and there. There is an argument to be made, though, of the way that drilling is done in terms of federal lands or anywhere in the United States where the company goes into to drill, in the way that the permitting process works. Look,
on how it turns out, like
the
in the
other
Gulf.
thing too, when you talk about the profit though of oil companies in this country, their margins are almost zero when you compare it to big margins like a regular company that does business like an Apple.
Yeah, that $41 billion that you see, that's not a net profit. That's not what the CEO is able to put in his pocket into the year.
Thank God.
Well,
but let's go back to just
let's
go back to simple terms that I think even Democrats and
it's well known that the oil companies have been making record profits, though.
That's not well known. That's what the left wing media has been telling you.
That's what you're being told.
Oh, okay.
But look,
it's all fake. Okay.
Please, Trey.
So let's go back to something more simple, which is drilling here in the United States. It takes care of two things immediately. Number one, jobs. private sector jobs, not government jobs.
Amen.
Remember, government does not create jobs, as left-wing media will tell you. Government takes money out of your pocket and puts
gives
it
it
in
to somebody
else's, period. It creates jobs. The second thing that drilling here in the United States is great for is our own national security. I don't know about you, but I want to quit giving Hugo Chavez in Venezuela and Mahmoud Ahmadinejad in Iran our money.
Well, why don't we take for the next year, just say, hey, we don't give any money for 1 year, no money to anybody. Just shut the whole world for a year. We'll do that. Would you prefer that?
Okay, so now you're talking about foreign aid. We've gone from drilling to foreign aid.
Yeah, whatever. Just take all the. We want to keep for 1 year. We're just in a hiatus.
Well,
that's
that's the problem with Smitty. He gets it all convoluted and confused. So we got to keep him on a straight and narrow.
Money here.
What I was referring to is drilling. We can't keep our money here because we've got to go and pay people like Mahmoud Ahmadinejad or Hugo Chavez in Iran and Venezuela for oil.
That's
because
a tough name.
Barack Obama is not allowing us to drill here. Look, in Alaska right now, they are practically begging for it, okay? But the federal government will not allow the United States to drill within what is called ANWR in Alaska. They're practically begging for it there. Why not drill there right now? Well, because you've got the far left faction talking about the environment. Look, all of us, whether you're conservative, liberal, any label you want to use, we want a healthy environment. Without a healthy environment, you don't have a healthy economy. We get that. We understand that. I want my young kid to breathe healthy air and drink nice, clean water.
Sure.
But look, there are realities.
Not according to the Democrat Party,
exactly,
you don't.
Yeah, they want. Yeah.
Well, you should be able to drill. You got Sarah Palin up there leading the charge. Come on.
But the federal government is getting in the way, and this goes back to again.
She's hot.
The big picture of cutting spending and getting government out of the way. When we have government in the way, whether it's drilling or I want you to think about this for a second. You know, here in Southwest Florida, we've got all sorts of retired CEOs, Fortune 500 board members, et cetera. They will tell you that at any given time, they will have 1 to 10 employees, directly or indirectly, that they have to staff, getting paid $100,000
to 300
to even $500,000 a year to deal with one thing, and one thing only.
Sarah Palin?
No, federal regulation.
Exactly. I see myself doing that, on my day-to-day. What federal regulations, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of federal. If you're on the line, call us at 277-9600. That's 775-9600 if you have a voice and you want to voice your opinion.
The Ledge with JD and Smitty on K-Rock. We got Trey Radel in studio today. Any callers want to call? If they got a question for him
after this, so use your last chance.
This is great.
I wouldn't come back if Smitty was in here. He smells.
I feel the love.
So what else we got, Trey?
Smitty, I'm curious where you stand on things.
He doesn't.
I have no idea what your political leanings are.
I should be a politician then, right?
Yeah, exactly. Isn't that the problem? That's when you.
Is there an IQ for politicians? Do they have an IQ?
7.
Seven.
I don't know. It's that of a grilled cheese.
No common sense either, huh?
What is your IQ? A grilled cheese.
A bag of rocks.
You often hear the word politician or career politician.
Right.
Look, there are good men and women across this country that are in elected positions that do great things for this country. Right. What I think a career politician is these people who just change with the wind. Charlie Crist is the perfect example of that. One day I'm for guns rights. The next day,
that's all politicians.
You
can't pick up Charlie. They all
it's
do
not,
it.
No, it was him and Arlen Specter.
Oh, Romney has a flip-flop on things, too?
Of course he has.
Of course. That's just politicians in general.
Well, that's a shame because you see these guys, they, like Trey said, one day they're for gun control. The next day they're the lifetime member of the NRA. Speaking of, how do you stand on gun controls, Ray?
I'm a lifetime member of the NRA.
Oh, man. Come on.
96K Rock, you're on the Ledge with JD and Smitty. Trey Radel in the office.
How you doing this morning?
Go ahead, my friend.
Hey, I just wanted to throw out, I wanted to see if you guys were going to talk about, like, the Keystone Pipeline or anything, how Obama went out there and, like, the private industry is doing it below, from there down, from Oklahoma down.
Right.
But he goes out there and says, hey, we're going to do all this kind of thing.
Well, I believe you're talking about that pipeline that they want to put through like some wet marshlands or something like that. It was,
that's the upper part.
Right.
But he went out there now. Private industry is actually doing it on the lower end.
Is the Chinese doing it or the Mexicans? Somebody's doing
it. We're already.
As long as the Germans are designing it.
Yeah, let the Germans design it. Go ahead, my friend.
Hey, what's your name? What's your name, caller?
My name's Dave. How you doing?
Hey,
Dave. How you doing? This is Trey. Look, man,
Vote for Trey.
You are, you're hitting it right on the head. Which is, yes, private industry has the ability and capability to develop it south, but it, of course, is President Obama and more specifically the State Department that shut the big picture down. And so now Canada is going to turn to China to be
Yes,
able
they are.
to sell their and that's great.
Speaking of, not to interrupt you, Trey, not to interrupt you, Trey, but they're still selling oil now to China as well. You know, I heard that.
Well, they already are, but
Yeah.
you know what? They can put a pipeline right to the coast and not even deal with us. Their pipeline doesn't have to come through the United States.
That's exactly right. Where we could have refined it, up, in states like Texas and Louisiana. Look, you're exactly right. I mean, again, this goes back to immediate things that we can talk about when it comes to drilling or the Keystone Oil Pipeline. Number one, jobs. And number two, national security. But here we are now. Our friend, our ally, Canada, to the north of us, will now deal with China instead of us.
Our Canuck brothers, I love them.
Yeah.
When I was up in Buffalo, they used to advertise on the radio for Indian gas because it was I guess it's an Indian thing up there, and that was a big thing. It was like buy gas from Indian Gas from your brothers from the north. That's
a great story from Smitty on the Ledge with JD and Smitty. You're going to get a lot of that from him. He just kind of goes off on a tangent. Just full of useless information.
Talking about our fellow Canadian friends, my friend. 96 K-Rock with you on JD and Smitty on the Ledge. 277-9600-775-9600. Please call. Trey Radel's in the office
If
here.
you got any hardball questions for Trey, he's up for them.
I'm happy to take any questions.
Trey, what's next for you on the campaign trail? How's that going?
Actually, it's been humbling. It's been exhilarating. It's been a heck of a lot of fun.
Is it what you expected?
All that and more. I've been totally overwhelmed by the support that we've received. And it's been great, though. Today, just to talk some nuts and bolts about kind of what happens and where you go from here, if you like that. We've got we launched our campaign in January, and today is the last day of the first quarter of fundraising.
Oh.
Whether we like it or not, in politics, you have to be able to raise
today's
money.
the day,
Today is March 31st, and at midnight tonight, you can still go to TreyRadel.com and donate. Today,
call 277-9600.
Yeah.
775-9600.
The ledge. JD and Smitty.
You could go.
What's the website again?
Yeah, TreyRadel.com.
Did you say TreyRadel.com?
Yes.
How do you remember that intricate website name?
So it's difficult.
He's a politician,
especially late on
man.
a Saturday night.
So by the end of the night, you've got to do.
By tonight, you are done fundraising, and you show whether or not you're a viable candidate.
You mean you can't collect any money after tonight?
No, you wrap up your first quarter, and then everybody will report in the next couple of weeks to show, hey, I have X amount of dollars. And whether we like it or not, you have to raise money. If we don't raise money, we can't do commercials right here on this station. If we don't raise money, we can't go on television with commercials. We can't pay staff. We can't run a website, etc.
Sure.
TreyRadel.com, by the way.
That's right.
So
Trey Radel in the studio.
And you have to show whether you're a viable candidate or not. That'll come in the next couple of weeks. But it's been great, though. We've had some people put together some nice meet and greet events. I've had two guys donate $10 apiece. One cut a check for $10. The other gave us $10 cash. Both of them were unemployed.
Wow.
That is a responsibility that I still get chills down my spine when I think about this. It's a responsibility I don't take lightly.
Essentially, I gave you a contribution from the unemployment check off my taxes?
No, these are both.
Can I get a tax deduction for that?
These are both guys are saying, Trey, look, I'm looking for a job. I want to do everything. And you have the problem with the Democrat Party today is that when you bring the human element into what's going on, is this. When you have a contractor in Cape Coral who hasn't had work for years, a builder in Naples, in Fort Myers, whatever it is, and you have no job and you've got only one party, Barack Obama's party, knocking at your door saying, I'll help feed your kids. I'll help cut you a check. I've got stimulus for you.
As long as you keep voting for me.
That's exactly
keep voting
right.
my party.
And that is where it gets very scary because then you have an entire culture, an
entitlement society
dependent upon.
Shouldn't the churches help with that?
That's exactly right.
Well,
that's what's made this country so great for more than 200 years. Is that it's we as individuals help each other, not the federal government.
I can remember the day when churches were all open. You could walk in any church and do anything, and churches had all kind of fundraisers and food, and people would come to your house. And it has changed.
I've heard this scenario from Smitty before, and what I say to that is, churches are not in the same position that they were in 50 years ago.
No, that's changed.
I mean, first of all,
the
schools, the public education system that's indoctrinated the children to get God out of the school. The churches, they're not popular. It's not cool anymore. They can't keep their doors open because if they did, people would steal the stuff in the church. So you can't just run it like you used to in the old days. I mean, they got to have security and mag locks and all this stuff nowadays. And, we can't, unfortunately, at this day and age, we can't always rely on the church to do everything because the government has shut the church out.
You're on the ledge with JD and Smitty on 96K, 277-9600, 775-9600. If you have something to say, you want to voice your opinion, Trey Radel is in the office here with us today, and I appreciate him coming out here. And we don't agree on everything, but that's what makes America so great.
I'm still trying to figure out what we don't agree on.
Smitty just sways in the wind. He's just that guy, jabbing the knife
I
in your
lay low in
side.
the weeds, man. I lay low in the weeds.
I think, again, I'm a conservative Republican running to represent Southwest Florida, but I'm the first to say that Washington, D.C. has failed this country. We are $15 trillion in debt and deficits, meaning when we talk about deficits, too, what this is what we're basically saying is Washington can't come up with a budget. They spend more than they take in. When you're at home, do you do that? And the answer is no.
You can't.
You can't eat any more apples than a tree produces.
That's exactly right.
That's pretty much the
how can the government do it then? How do they get away with that? I mean,
how does the government? How do these guys get away with insider trading? How do they get away with dipping into your Social Security?
You know how I feel about
spending
that.
for other things. I mean, a lot of what has happened.
So is it the system or is it just the politicians? Because in my mind,
they are part of the system.
In my mind, I think the politicians are just there for
their own
an
game.
illusion. It's an illusion that the big business really does run the corruption that you're talking about.
Well, right now you've got some big business running it. I mean, like George Soros and the media. Those
and
guys.
It can go both ways. It can go both ways. I'm not saying that it's all Republican. Democrats are just as bad.
Just as bad. Twice as bad.
Look, this is why when you go to vote in August, and the primaries in August for our race here in Southwest Florida in particular, August 14th. That's really the day for the vote and everything. You're going to vote for Congress, some local races, and Senate. What you're talking about, lobbyists, big business, corporatism, influence, none of that matters if you have someone in office that represents you, more importantly, serves you, that has backbone and is honest with you.
Easier said than done. I appreciate that.
Well,
is it though?
It is.
You hear all this stuff about, people go up there, they want this fame, they love this power, they love the TV. If I personally wanted that kind of garbage of TV, I'd still have my own TV show and all that stuff. I'm running because I love this country, and I'm sick and tired of the status quo that Washington has delivered to us.
Well said.
Well, I thought you got a good passion. I feel your passion, man, and I think a lot of people do too. They're sick of it, and even if you're a Democrat or Republican, I think everybody would probably look back and say, every side is wrong, every side, and we're ready to clean house. So I'm with you.
Smitty, we got a caller on the line. Caller, you're on live on the ledge with JD and Smitty and Trey Radel on 96K Rock.
Hey Trey, I appreciate your comments about the debt deficit, et cetera. How do you feel about the U.S. Senate just passing that bill to give the oil industry $4 billion?
I don't know which piece of legislation you're referring to. Specify.
We're talking about subsidies.
BR 549.
Yeah, I don't know what piece of legislation you're talking about, but I don't know.
I believe he's talking about the subsidies.
What is it a subsidy for?
It just gives them more money.
They just gave him more money?
Yeah, they just gave the oil companies more money.
They're like, hey, dude, here's
pretty much. I mean, there's some technical issues, but they gave it to him.
I think
there's some technical issues.
He could be referring to, there's been a lot of talk lately about, Obama's been hammering the House to take away the so-called subsidies that the oil companies get. Is that where we were going?
I think that's what he was talking about.
So there's a difference between giving. So the caller, though, I thought just said gave them a subsidy. But what they're doing is looking to take a look. Why don't we take a look at everything? What we need to do in this country, whether we're talking about the handouts, where we're not just incentivizing but encouraging poverty in this country, to the abuse of the tax code, whether we're talking corporatism or handouts or bailouts for various industries that both Democrats and Republicans are doing, let's hit the reset button today. That goes with foreign aid, with what you talked about earlier.
Keep it all
hit
here.
The reset button. Yeah. Let's go back to zero.
I'm with that.
And then reassess what is truly and critically important to our national security, and with the abuse of the tax code or subsidies, hit the reset button.
I'm with you.
And see what we really need. Look, though, oil, at the end of the day, Whether or not people want to admit it, it is what is driving this country. It is a national security issue. We have to have it. It's what gets us around every single day, and it goes beyond, by the way, just driving your car.
Are you for any kind of new technologies out there,
Yeah,
or are you just for the oil? Because a lot of people are going to say, you know what they're going to say, Trey? They're going to say, look, you drilled out in the Gulf of Mexico, you almost ruined it. You know, you're going to get it. You're going to get that.
Of course. You give me an electric car that is affordable, that makes sense, that's going to get more than 50 miles before it stops working.
And then won't blow up on you?
Yeah, and then won't catch on fire.
I think I call that a golf cart.
And by the way, doesn't look like some weirdo Jetson car from like 20,
I love the Jetson
something.
cars. I love that. Are you kidding me? I wish I had one.
But you'll get there faster if it's on fire because you'll be running from the fire.
You guys want the Fred Flintstone mobile, you know?
Yeah,
with the feet on the side, pushing it in a road. That's what you guys
Here's the deal, though, at the end of the day. The government cannot pick and choose who is going to use an electric car or what's going to be best. The free markets do. And the perfect example of this is the product of Apple, an iPod or an iPhone. You have kids to older people who sleep in the rain and snow and sleet to be able to camp outside a store to buy it. Why? Because the free markets are the cleanest and fairest way of deciding what is best.
Amen.
And the day that the free market can come up with alternatives to oil, I'm happy to pay.
The Ledge with JD and Smitty on 96K Rock, 277-9600 or 775-9600. We got Trey Radel in studio today.
Check our webpage out, too. We have a webpage.
Yeah, you got the LedgeRadioShow.com, or check us out on Facebook, The Ledge Radio Show.
Tell us what you think. You don't have to be pleasant with us, believe me. We're thick-skinned.
It was original. It was original name. Well, I tell you what, as far as alternative energies go, obviously the technology is...
I'm all for it. I personally love new technologies.
But you got to remember, though.
Back in the day, we had...
So why don't you go buy a Volt?
Well, because it's like 50 grand.
If I could afford it.
Then that is exactly right.
But that's with all technologies. All technologies at the very beginning are expensive, just like phones, cell phones, and just like computers.
Okay, but again,
eventually
though,
it'll be computers.
The question becomes, why should the federal government step in and tell you or us that we are going to pay for your cell phone? We're going to pay for your iPod.
I don't think they have to. I think eventually it'll flow through, just like horse and buggy. When it came in with the car, the guy didn't say, "Oh my goodness, this is a new
But where
car."
does it stop? Where does it stop, Smitty?
This is the problem, that the federal government, unelected bureaucrats, dudes in suits in Washington are picking and choosing.
Dudes in suits, like that.
Are picking and choosing.
Can we coin that phrase?
Who you're going to pay for when it comes to that.
He's a suit.
Yeah, right.
No.
Take a look at me. I didn't even shave this morning.
Take a look at me. Look at you.
Well, I tell you.
No, it's been a pleasure having you here, man.
It's been great.
I love it. You get me fired up.
You're coming back now.
Too.
That's it, man.
You got to stop back by and see us. I'm sure that there's a lot of things we can discuss. A lot of things
bring
out
your
there.
good-looking wife, Amy Wegman.
Oh, here we go.
Amy
is she here?
Yeah, she's on maternity leave at home with our baby right now. By the way, I know her as Amy Radel. She is known as Amy Wegman.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Occasionally, I'm Mr. Wegman.
She's not outside or anything? She's not here?
No, she's
sure?
not here.
You can bring her in for that.
Hey, listen, thank you guys for having me on. Again, any help that anyone could contact us, TreyRadel.com.
Thanks, Trey.
Thank you all so much.
Guys.
I appreciate you having me by.
Tune in come in next Saturday at 8 o'clock. We'll be here, and we'll be banging at it again. Thanks for coming by.
The Ledge Radio Show. JD and Smith at 96K Rock.
Hey there, Sarah. You better wipe that smile off your face. People will wonder what you've been doing.
If they only knew my secret.
Well, tell me what your secret is. I love a good secret.
Well, my husband surprised me yesterday by taking me to the Health and Harmony Center. I got a full-body Swedish massage and picked up a few other items just for me.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
It was better than awesome. It was the most relaxing 1 hour that I've experienced in a long, long time and well overdue. At the Health and Harmony Center, they offer massage, yoga, acupuncture, natural medicines, fitness classes, workshops, and more. I can't wait to go back. It was certainly better than a card and flowers.
Call the Health and Harmony Center now for more details and ask about their 1 hour Swedish massage special for only $65 now through April the 14th. Put a smile on someone's face. Call 239-433-5995. That's 239-433-5995. Or stop by at 15951 McGregor Avenue.
Zito and Gary.
What's going to happen?
Come here, bring your face over here.
All right. If you try to kiss me or you try to put that dirty grill on me,
get over here. Just come here.
All right.
Close your eyes, son.
What do you want to do to me?
Close your eyes. Okay, ready?
Touch
now,
him.
do you feel this?
I feel it.
This is what I owe you.
Oh, you dumb!
Hey!
Smacked him right in the mouth!
That's what I owe you.
Get her out of here!
That is what I owe you.
Zito and Garrett middays, 10 to 2 p.m. after Bubba on 96 K-Rock.
If you're a boat enthusiast, then you know just how much fun boating can be. Whether you're fishing in the Gulf or just taking in the beautiful sights that can only be seen from a boat, there's nothing quite like it. Boat owners also know that it takes time to maintain that boat. So when it comes to cleaning, detailing, and restoration, Summer Jade is on board for you. Summer Jade specializes in full-service detailing. They also offer teak restoration, underwater hull cleaning, and hull painting. It doesn't matter if you have a small boat or a large yacht. They do the job with quality results. Summer Jade is family-owned and operated, serving Lee County and the surrounding areas. And best of all, their rates can't be beat. Call today and ask for Eric. He has some great promotional rates, some as low as $11 per foot.
I'm Eric Naylor, the owner of Summer Jade. Our rates are unbeatable. Call me at 239-878-6947. That's 878-6947. In Florida, it's summer every day.
Summertime. And the boating is easy.
Victory Lane Chevrolet is pleased to announce the arrival of the all-new 2013 Chevy Malibu Eco. Building on the success of the previous Malibu and the popular Chevy Cruze and Equinox, the 2013 Malibu Eco was redesigned from the ground up to bring you more style, better fuel efficiency, and a high degree of craftsmanship. The wide, athletic Camaro-inspired exterior and dual cockpit interior provide a sport coupe feel with four-door practicality. Malibu Eco isn't just about dazzling good looks. The advanced Ecotec four-cylinder engine with a 37 mpg EPA highway rating gives you compact car-like fuel economy in a mid-size car. The European-inspired ride and handling and American know-how make the 2013 Malibu Eco a truly world-class car. Take a test drive in our all-new Malibu Eco to experience the quality and exceptional driving experience for yourself. Visit us at the corner of Fowler and Winkler or at VictoryLaneChevrolet.com. Chevy runs deep.
Hey folks, this is Fred Moore, and I'm here to tell you about Gulf Coast Vapors, your complete one-stop vape shop. So if you want to stop smoking tobacco cigarettes, then we've got a solution for you. Vaping is definitely the smarter alternative to smoking tobacco cigarettes. We've got a 4-step program that gradually takes you down off of nicotine and makes it easy for you to stop smoking tobacco cigarettes. This system's very affordable. Most of our customers save between $100 to $200 a month when they switch from tobacco to vaping. We've got over 100 flavors of e-liquids and all the latest and the greatest from accessories to mods. We're located across the street from the Edison Mall on Courtney Drive, directly behind Brent's Music Headquarters. Our number is 275-VAPE. That's 275-8273.
The preceding has been a paid commercial program. The opinions expressed are those of the participants and not necessarily those of 96 K-Rock and the Beasley Broadcast Group.
From a huge